I didn't make this full screen. Okay, is that working? This is not working. Welcome to an art stream. I'm not kicking, I'm not doing the shimmy. It's just not tracking me properly because my back is turned to the camera. I don't know what that noise was. It's a little disconcerting. Okay. I'm not sure if you can make it out. We got her on the screen. That is everyone's favorite Uma Musume, Rice Shower. I don't know if it is. Actually, I don't know anything about the show or the game other than the one meme that we inserted ourselves into. And we are now going to try and draw this, I believe, screen cap from the show. I think it's from the show. But I'm not walking on the wall, by the way. Sorry, I was redirecting my fan. Hopefully it doesn't sound too bad. So here is the plan. Hopefully I can get this to come out pretty well. I am seeing 2 roses, which are not ideal. A little tiny fucking hat, not ideal. Horse ears, very not ideal. But the reason I picked this image is, one, it's from the show, and it's not someone else's fan art that I'm effectively copying. So it's a screen cap from the show, which I feel like if I'm going to be effectively using this to content farm, it should be based on the original and not someone else's art. Second, it's generally head on. I think I can manage that. Third, I don't actually have to draw the full body. There is a problem though, it's kind of perspective based, right? It's kind of going like down and back, but hopefully I can manage that. But most importantly, a screen grab from the anime is actually less detailed than most like stills from like maybe like uh like a promo image, like a poster, or again from fan art. So I'm hoping I can handle this. Now, we'll see. I have a suspicion this isn't going to come out that well. I don't know if we're going to count this as our little project, but it's a start. Anyway, no snitching. I might not even tweet this, like, once it's got color or something. I know that kind of is stupid. Maybe we will. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But the plan is to get this done by August. I should be done by August with the drawing. But then I have to probably edit the video myself. I don't know how to fucking edit even reasonably well. I don't have a cache of good music. I don't know how to edit to music. I don't know how to make things look dramatic. So with basically my next month being where we're no longer going to be able to work on this during the week, so it'll be weekend only art streams, I feel like I should start working on stuff like this now, like larger things for us to maybe actually turn into, what do I call it, curated content? I don't know. Anyway, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to try and do a sketch. We're going to do the strat. We're going to sketch it, see how close we feel we've come. Then we're going to revise, sketch it. So effectively like a line art, but like not a line art, assuming it's not even remotely okay. And then we're going to send it. Now, for the background stuff, I don't know if we're going to do anything. We're going to see. I don't know. Should I do 1080p for this? I have it on 1080p because there's just no chance we're gonna get, with like how many layers this is gonna end up being. There's no way I'm gonna be able to get a time lapse out of this. It's just gonna crash. Apparently 48 gigs and a 58 or a 5700X and a 5070 is just not enough to render out a 9-minute video from the time lapse. Fuck. What is... Can I figure out the original size of this? I don't think so. Wait, if I inspect it... I cannot. Wait. There it is. Tracker action view. No, that's not it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go with 1080p just because I know I can turn that into a video, and that's not really gonna be a huge problem for us. But yeah, hopefully we can get... Basically, the goal is to get this done and hopefully be happy with it, but have time to do another iteration or redo it or try something different if we're very, very unhappy with this. And have time to still learn how to maybe edit a little bit. I hope that makes sense. Jesus Christ, bro. I don't know why, I just really want to push this over to here. Which I probably shouldn't do, given that I normally don't do that. Okay. So let's try to get as close as we can. So, oh man. How do I put this? I mean, again, no snitching, but the moment I saw the Saraway Circus thing, I really felt like it was inspired by this because I had been trying to learn how to draw her for that shit post. Which, Jesus Christ, I'm fucking drawing another thing for a shit post. What the fuck? It's not like a shit post. It's more like a meme post. But, what am I doing, man? Anyway, the second I saw it, I was like, that's really close. It was the rose, the mini hat, the kind of... I think she's supposed to have bunny ears or something, but this is obviously a horse ear situation. But the second I saw it, I was like, isn't that just rice shower? Anyway, I don't know. Should I bother setting up a video and like trying to make it dramatic? Should I do like this ROA situation is crazy? I feel like that's just gonna flop and be a waste of my efforts. But from that same perspective, I'm kind of feeling like, you know what? So what? You know, I really need to learn how to actually seriously edit anyway. So maybe it's time. Okay. This is actually the weirdest way I've ever drawn her. I've only done it a handful of times because, again, I was actually planning on doing like a face-on full body, but I don't know if that was fan art or like a still from something. But I felt like this would be better and cooler because the other one was just her standing still. Okay. Think I have already fucked up. Yep. You know, I get that this is anime, so it's like they have to do a lot of panels, but I never realized how undetailed anime can be. Like, okay, this is a lot to take in, right? I mean, these roses, all of this was hard, and it's better than anything I can do. But like you look at like a lot of stills and like a lot of the things I've copied to try and learn from, and holy shit, there's like no detail on this dress. But like some of the stuff I'm using to learn from, or like on the hat, it's just like a simple hat. Like look at the Saroy Circus thing. She's got like a little ornate gold things all over her hat, and it's like completely different. You know what I mean? Like I get that it's like a again a still, but it's like I don't know. You watch anime and it's like you don't really think about how undetailed it is while you're watching it because you're like, wow, this is neat. Anyway, I actually don't know like anything about this fucking anime. I know it was turned into a game. That's about it. Um, I think I know it's. I think these are like real horses in Japan, like real racehorses um, that they're based off of. I don't know if the show depicts real races or it's just taking like real horses and like putting them against each other. Obviously, the horses have been turned into girls. So you got to get that fan appeal, right? I actually don't know. I'm assuming it's that kind of anime. That sounds a little bit rude. I think it's, I'm pretty sure it's that kind of anime. It's like fan service, you know, it's, I assume there's not necessarily a shortage, if you will, of panty shots. I haven't watched it though. Maybe I should watch it. I'll tell you what, if this is successful, I'm probably still not going to watch it. But if the person we're doing this for asks us to, I'll ask for $500 and then I'll watch it. I'm kidding, by the way. If there's demand, I'll watch it, or at least I'll give it a shot. I'll give it what I call the Hunter x Hunter experience. I watched the first like 10 episodes of Hunter x Hunter and thought it was boring as fuck. I came back to it like 2 years later and it got better. I did that with One Piece. I just stuck with it for 70 episodes the second time. It did not like it's weird because I can acknowledge I would have loved it when I was in my fairy tale era, for example. You know, 10 years before I tried watching it, right? If I had watched it from the start when I was a young warthog, I know I would have loved it. But I just don't now. You know, and it's not to say I don't even dislike that type of anime. It's just I don't think it's gonna be good enough that I want to watch 1,000 episodes. I think that's part of it. It's such a daunting task to watch 1,000 episodes of something that's not really feeling like it's gonna pay off. Like I just don't see that if it's 70 episodes in and I'm already not enjoying it, I don't see how it goes up from there. Okay. Now, I imagine the original, so the starting point for this is all right, I'm already seeing some problems. But okay, how do I fucking phrase things? How do I say what I want to say here? So, the reason I'm doing this is more so a long-term project that it's been like a goal point for me. Learning how to draw was something I wanted to do beside this, if that makes sense. Like this isn't the reason. If we're asked, we might tell them for the fun of it. We might put that in like a video for the fun of it. But obviously, this isn't the reason. The reason is that I quite frankly might not be able to draw you know, within like the next 10 years. Who knows, right? Like you never know. Um and it's something I've kind of always wanted to do, and I just realized through yeah, we'll call it a funnily enough a VTuber's random clip we came across, realized that, you know, I'm not really doing a lot of things that I wanted to do or haven't done them. And there's really no reason not to. So it's kind of that. And this started because I'll have to fucking find the tweet. I should have taken a screenshot of it. Basically, I was starting to get into art so that I could learn. I was waiting on finding a tablet and stuff. And actually, I might have already found a tablet at this point. I don't actually recall. But basically, why does she have blue in her eyes if her eyes are purple? Anyway, basically, I came across someone's art, and what's her face Saraway had responded to it, and it wasn't this. She had asked them to draw this, and I drew them a rice shower. I drew them a bag of rice in a shower, or sorry, a bowl of rice, in a shower. No snitching, by the way. No snitching. I still have it. It was on a post-it. I was at work. I probably shouldn't have been on Twitter, but there I was. Um, so I just did that, and I responded, and I thought it was hilarious. And they said I hate you, and I'm sure that's a joke. But I thought, for me, after starting to learn, I thought it would be fun to see if I can't like make this work, right? If I can't provide the way it's gonna work. Now the original artist that they were responding to is called Reen, I think. Um and they generally draw what I'll call, you know, I feel like I don't know them. Well, I definitely don't know them, but I don't know that much about them, but I'm pretty sure they draw NSFW stuff largely. I think they have two accounts, one for like full on like porn, I think, and then one for, I don't know, I should have done my research. But one for porn effectively, and one for like honestly soft porn. So like one would be full on like nudity, and the other one would be like a lot of bikini stuff. Um, so I would assume that they, you know, asking them to draw this would probably be a request for this character in a bikini. I'm sorry, I can't draw that. So you're getting a screen cap. Also, I have like no reach on Twitter. I don't even think if I direct at them, because none of my like hashtag uses have even worked. So I don't think if I even direct at them will get any attention from this, which is part of the reason why I'm thinking like, why do I even bother with like a whole video to try and make it dramatic and fun. I don't know, because it's just like, how do I put it? Production cost, I guess. It's my time that is going to be soon limited, and my skills that are beyond limited. Is this a moth? What is bro doing? Come here, bro. Bye. What the fuck? Where did that come from? Motherfucker's probably eating my clothes. A little son of a bitch. Bro's so lucky it's in here with me. Because the cat's not in here, and she would fuck that thing up. Okay. Anyway, all of that was to say that's the lore behind this. It's kind of like I remembered it, so I was like, you know what? I can do that. And I don't think they were actually upset, but you know what? I think it'll be cool if I can provide what I gotta be honest, I don't think I took it away from them. I don't think the original artist was gonna draw a request. I could be wrong. I don't know them. Um, but you know what I mean? Like, I think it's kind of cool to say, oh, I'm the reason you didn't get your rice shower image. Well, here it is a year later. And it was a good goal point, right? Technically, it's only like 6 months after I really started drawing. Not even. I don't know. So I started doing sketches in what, like, you know what? I guess we'll call it a year ago. But I didn't really start like learning, and like the daily streams, started when I could be from home and in the mornings. Um, it went from, like online tablet only. That didn't start until January 1st. So I don't know. Like I said, it kind of just made sense to me. It gave me a goal. And you know, it, I feel like I need that when I'm doing something, especially drawing here. Like, what am I doing if not trying to achieve a goal here? What am I doing? You know? Actually, what am I doing? No, do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm starting this, if I'm drawing, there's no monetary value to this for me. Now, look, I'm not saying there has to be, but at a certain point, it becomes a bit of a burden, right? Spending $200 on a tablet, right? 50 something bucks on this, getting the whole setup going, right? I didn't necessarily need to do some of it, but uh, I didn't do it to recoup any losses. I didn't do it to make money necessarily. I've done it here so that I can learn how to draw. But learning how to draw doesn't make you anything, right? It's nothing. There's no path to victory here. This is only something I have to enjoy doing. And I do. But do you know what I mean? Like, I just have to enjoy doing this. Otherwise, it's a loss. But the thing is, I need like a goal. And since money can't be a goal, right? Because that would be an easy goal, right? Getting 50 million USD would be fantastic, of course. But how the fuck am I gonna get that? You know what I mean? So I need a goal, right? You can't. What am I gonna do? Make the goal be good enough to counterfeit money? It doesn't make sense. So the goal is obviously to get better. Well, how do I get better? I have to look up things, go out of my way to do them. I have to draw more. Well, what do I draw? I don't know, right? I've tried the whole fucking box thing. I'm not going over there to grab the tablet. I have multiple things of the boxes. Have they helped me? Probably. Do they feel like they're helping me? Not at all. I'm miserable doing them. I hate doing them. It sucks the joy out of doing them. Could I benefit from doing them? Absolutely, probably, right? Whatever it is that the box fucking thing has to offer me, I probably need. But I hate it, right? Drawing random things from Twitter, it's other people's artwork. I'm I mean, even now, I'm literally just using other people's artwork, right? This is just on a more professional level, so it's a little more acceptable, right? Right, it feels less personal than stealing someone's art from Twitter. So it's like I needed something that was going to give me a goal that I could see real progress towards and wasn't like a super far away timeline that was going to be like, oh, well, of course you reached it by then. Wasn't going to be super close, so it was going to be like, well, I mean, what the hell did you expect, bro? It's, you know, you're not going to draw, some Picasso shit after 2 weeks, right? So I needed a goal, and it just kind of lined up that that would be roughly like 6 months to a year, depending on how you wanted to look at it. If I could time things right, and I happened to have a different reason to do it for this creator, even though they're probably never gonna see it. I mean, they never saw the Sorrowway thing anyway, so it just seemed like it was gonna be fun, and it had like a multifaceted purpose towards it that I feel like, right, it was good enough to set a goal. It was good enough to, sorry, I'm really confused with this hair and it's like stud locking me. Um but it was good enough to set a goal, and I didn't think it would be this hard. Like the actual character we were going to draw. And I honestly, if I don't draw the roses, I don't think it's actually that hard. I'm gonna still try and draw them though. Um, I didn't know this particular image existed yet. Got it. It's a little washed out, isn't it? Fuck. So this is from someone's. This is a screen cap from, I think, it's season 2. Okay, it's in the title. I don't have to go back. That someone posted on Reddit. I think it was like talking about it. Anyway, normally I try to be faster about these sketches, by the way, but I'm trying to take my time because it's like I might as well get it as good as possible. We have plenty of time. I know we don't really technically have any sort of deadline, but we kind of self-impose a deadline. Um, but this one's gonna be one I try and work on quite a bit. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things end up. What a weird fucking hand. No offense. Your shit's all fucked up. No offense, though. Do 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 do. Nah, my pointer finger isn't that much smaller, right? Like they got that shit like down here. I feel like mine's like up here even. Bro, maybe I should increase the fucking size of this thing. Can I increase? Hold on. Wait, you can fill with more. What the fuck does that mean? Can I increase canvas size later? Is that something I can do? Yes, I can resize the canvas. Okay. So let's not do that yet. Okay. So let's come back in. I'd like to redo the hat. I'm not really feeling the hat. Look, there's going to be a lot of revisions on just this first sketch, and then we're probably going to come back in and redo a lot of it. I just want this to be a... I mean, this is kind of the way it's always been. I want the thing I'm working on now to be the best thing I've worked on so far. But there's not really a large chance of this, but there is a slight chance that this represents us with the... We'll call it the communities at large. Right? There's a chance. Not really, but there's a chance. So we want this to be our best work yet. Is it going to be perfect? No. But we're going to try. But we're also not going to try. I have to have realistic expectations that I'm still not very good. And there's a lot of stuff I don't know. And most importantly, we eat ass. No, most importantly, there's a good chance nobody sees this except for us. So we got to make it good for us, right? Because if I'm not going to be happy with it, how can I expect someone else to be happy with it? Also, why the fuck did I pick this image where I have to fucking draw the hat at a goddamn angle? Can somebody please pick images for me from now on? Because this shit is obnoxious. But there, like I said, there is the slightest chance that somehow this escapes my little echo chamber where I just fucking effectively like my own tweets because I just like the art Twitter's tweets with my main. I might actually tweet this on main just because that's where the original thing happened. I think what I might do is progress pics on art twit, and then like completed version might get tweeted on main, but I might hold out until we work on the video. And I don't know. Maybe I'll see. Something I thought about is seeing if Toasty will do it and how much, I'll pay him for that. The thing is, I don't really have a lot of money to pay him, and I would never ask him to do it for like free or clout or something. Because let's face it, I have no clout to give. You know what I mean? So it's got to be for money. And I don't even know what it would cost, but he's the only person I know who, uh, like actually edits videos, you know? All right, I think part of the reason I'm feeling this is so fucked up looking are the eyes. Let's try and actually make them a little better. I don't really like them. The best is yet to come. Me when my name is the best. Bro, my ear itchy. I don't like it. We don't have to do eyebrows now, do we? How bad is this? Bro, it, this bitch looks fucking insane, by the way. Like, absolutely nuts. Mentally. I feel like the eyes are too far apart. I feel like they're too far apart and too big. Why does this kind of look like, what's her name? Fruit? Is it Fruit? Apricot? I don't know. Another VTuber. It's the hat, I think. I swear I've seen her with this, my shitty expression here. I fucked her up. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Okay. I really fucked her up this time, didn't I, my dear? By the way, I mostly just follow. Look, this is gonna sound weird. I know we use a VTuber model. I don't really watch VTubers. I mostly watch people be fucking silly on the internet, and a lot of VTuber stuff is about like, I don't know. For me, I'm just uncomfortable with it, so I feel like it's weird, like pseudo-sexual stuff with their audience or whoever they're with, and it's like a lot of, look, they might actually be into girls or boys, but it's like a lot of, oh, I'm co-hosting with so and so, it's Yuri time, or it's yaoi, right? Like it's boys love or whatever. I feel like they do it for like the fan base and not actually because they're interested. And I get that that's always been something, um, but like, I don't know, it just doesn't really appeal to me, even if they're actually like into each other or into it or whatever. It just feels really weirdly forced to me, and it makes me uncomfortable personally. Um, and that's like a lot of, it's like a show, right? And it's just like they might actually be into whatever. They might actually be gay or they might actually be straight, but it just feels like they're not actually into the person, so it's just kind of like disingenuous, weird. Why are you like overly flirtatious with this person that you're effectively working with? That's just me. Other people can enjoy that. I just find it weird, and that's what a lot of it comes down to for like the most popular ones. Um, and so I just I don't partake, right? I don't watch. Um, man, we are gonna have to make this bigger or smaller. I think we resize canvas. Um, so first off, let's save. Her name is Rice Shower. That's what it was. We're gonna call it take one, just in case we have to redo things. So this was image, resize canvas. I guess we'll go with 4K. We don't have to use the whole canvas. Why did I take a screen? Whatever. But what is 4K resolution? That way it's like fittable to a screen, relatively speaking. It can be used potentially as like a desktop background. 3840 by 2165 will keep the proportions. That's 5 pixels larger than 2160. That's fine. I think we can live with that. So then it keeps the proportions and we get more space to draw. Um, I don't know. Do we try and do like the green background? I feel like it shouldn't be that hard. It should just be like base green and then like darken it as it goes away. But also, I fucking suck. So, you know, This might be weirdly the calmest I've ever done one of these. I feel like I'm usually like in a rush. But you know what? Today's Wednesday. We're going to work on the sketch today. I'm probably not going to be able to do one tomorrow morning, but then we're going to have probably 4 uninterrupted mornings, hopefully, as long as I don't have like a severe headache or some shit in a row. I don't know if we'll complete it by then. This is definitely, I intend for it to be my longest running project thus far, and I intend to be pretty hopefully decent on it. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like I've gotten pretty okay. I don't I'm sure people who have been watching realize this already. I don't like giving myself credit because I just always feel like I can do better. So if I tell myself, "Wow, that's pretty good." I feel like I'm going to be like, "Well, pretty good is good enough." And I'm just going to bail, right? I'm going to walk out. And sometimes that is actually the right answer, and I do purposefully do that to myself cuz I'm like, "Well, it's good enough." Right? I don't even have the skills to get there. I can't keep spending 40 fucking minutes trying to draw a single goddamn ear or something. I have more to learn from just starting something else entirely and not being upset than I do from sitting there like redrawing some weird little S curve, basically. You know? So, like, sometimes I have to use that to my advantage, but for the most part, I do try to, like, I don't know, I try to control my outcomes by, like, not convincing myself that I'm actually getting better at something because I don't feel like I have anything to gain by effectively, I guess, effectively like overhyping myself. I don't know. I feel like that also backfires sometimes, and it's like then I don't give myself credit, and then it's like when I do something good, suddenly, you know, I I deserve some credit. You know, I am him sometimes. Okay, so we are noticing a pretty big issue. Did I not? Oh, I switched to the wrong thing. I don't know. Is this just too big, maybe? Do I shrink this instead? Maybe I do. I feel like I mean, it's partially the angle, isn't it? It makes her head look really puffed up and strange. Because she's like leaning forward. Enhance. I'm like opening my eyes as wide as, actually I should be squinting so that I can like, because doesn't that focus your eyes? I don't know. I feel like it's like, I think what it is this is like probably maybe 720 or 480p, and it's really pixelated, like right by this dark brown, this black, right? There's like a lot of overlap, like right here, and I can't tell if it's this. I think it's this, or if it's this and then straight up. But I think it's, there's like a one extra little like spike here, because there's also something similar here, and I feel like I can see a slight line between those two. uh, I don't know. Also, I might change, she has like a little, I don't know, like a fantasy dagger. I might give her like this or something. I don't know, just to make it fun, put my little spin on it. Okay. So this is looped in like that. I do feel like we maybe come out like this. That's really wobbly. What the fuck? Where am I going, bro? We got to keep in mind that this is like the sketch, and I feel like I should have said this earlier. We are probably not getting past sketch phase today. Like I said, we're gonna try to actually make this like as good as we can. Um, Hold on. Let me look up this character real quick. I feel like she does have really long fucking hair. God, there's so much fan art here. My original plan, and I might actually do this still. I might, hold on. All right, let's do this. First off, let me finish my thought. What's up with her hair? Okay, it is really pretty long. All right, so let's go back to the image then. So there's like a bit here that's her arm, right? And behind it is some of her hair. And I was like, what the fuck? How does that make sense? But I think her hair is actually just supposed to be, I guess, that long. Um, it looks super weird. I might not include that hair in mine just because I feel like it really throws off the scale of that arm. Like it feels like that arm was like just pasted behind stuff. But I think it's supposed to be, hold on, can I pose like that? I think it's supposed to be like this. Can we get that? Hold on, is it getting it? Oh, you know, it might not be doing my hand because of the glove. It's the cactar thing, but head on. So instead of like this, it's like that, right? Um, so the one arm is like at this angle. Stop fucking. Because I'm putting my hand up, the camera takes that as a gesture to lock in place. Anyway, I'm gonna do it as a fist, maybe. Hopefully, it tracks that. So one arm is like back like that, and there's like hair behind it, but it looks really weird because they can't really put that much like locomotion into their. It's That's a real word, right? I think that's the right word. Am I fucking stupid? All right, hold on a second. But let me look up locomotion real quick. I'm pretty sure that's, is that the right act or power moving from place to place, walking, running, swimming? I think that's right. I don't know. Hold on, I have to check. Hopefully this isn't going to be a problem. Something work related. I think we're good. Um, Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Sorry about that. Anyway, good thing I checked my phone. How long was that? Wasn't too long, right? Okay, I literally just got that text. All right, interesting. Um, anyway, uh, so her her arm is like doing that motion, and it's just really hard to show that motion first off 2D and make it look 3D. So the arm looks weirdly small. Her shoulders look weirdly how do I put it? I guess flush. I don't. They should be like way more angled if that's as extreme as she's gonna be. Which also you don't. I don't know if anyone. Nobody watches these, but if somebody watches this, there's like a 0% chance you fucking run like this. They're supposed to be like speed sprinting, anime style because it's an anime because they're horses and it's supposed to be really dramatic. Anyway, I was about to draw the arm, which is what brought all this up. I'm gonna keep my phone on me, I guess, in case. I feel like half the time I feel like phantom vibrations, and there's nothing, and the other half I just don't feel it vibrate when it actually did. All right, let's zoom out. I feel like I'm not liking the way this looks, but I don't. It's just a sketch right now, and I don't know that I can do substantially better anyway. So I feel like we should just roll with it for now, and we'll see where we can maybe get. I'm thinking hat needs to be bigger. Let's do this arm, I guess. Do we be lazy and copy paste that hand? Nah, we need the practice anyway. This thumb goes hard though, right? Well, you know what? I don't know. I feel like it's a really nice thumb. Like, they didn't have to go. I don't want to say this detailed because it's not like, you know, they didn't draw the fucking thumbprint or anything. But they didn't actually have to really go this detailed, you know what I mean? Like, they could have just made like a fucking triangle and people probably wouldn't have even noticed. Why does that look like Deku's hand after he fucking punched something after he was told not to punch something? What a fucking moron. Why does he keep doing it? He can't keep getting away with it. Bro, this looks so fucking goofy. Oh my god. I'm gonna lose it. Alright, we're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Anyway. Let's try and draw this. Then we have one coming out like that. we actually also have this like that. I think it's bigger actually over here, right? So I feel like my scale is just super off, but I really don't know what else to do. Do I shrink this? Man, if only I had someone who actually knew how to draw that just draw it for me, you know? I don't know. Do we clickbait? I guess we have plenty of time to decide this. I'm redrawing the hat again. Dude, that was so wobbly. What am I doing? Okay. Let's try and draw this in. Maybe this will help. Gonna just maybe go for this generally my own way. Okay. Let's press M. I don't really think it looks any worse, but that's because I just don't think it looks particularly good. Let's back up. Okay. We still have the little butterfly thing. I don't know, it's like a handkerchief we got to draw. We have the bottom torso. We have some more of the hair flanges. I feel like it doesn't look terrible. I feel like it's aesthetically decent. I do not feel like it looks like the original though. Right? This looks like someone who's not very good at drawing is trying to draw something and they have some of it down and like it's legible, you know? It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not the worst thing I've ever drawn. But I'm just not proud of it, you know? I feel like I could do better, but I don't know how. It's like I have it in my head. I can literally look at this and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's just a line there, a line there, a line there, a line there. We're done." But I just cannot do that. I feel like this is somehow too big and too small, like right here. I feel like the face needs to be wider, but I can't make it any wider. I feel like the hat needs to be bigger, but like I just keep making it so fucking big. How big does it need to be? The face feels too thin. I don't know, man. Like I feel like I want to make this as good as possible, but can I? This is definitely the longest since like I started being able to actually kind of sketch things. This is definitely the longest it's taken me to get some sketching done. Now, what I will say is this is sketch 1. I'd like to come over it and do maybe a revision and then a line art. I already said it. I should have said it at the start. We are taking our time on this. Even this sketch is going to try and be decent and clean and legible, because there's a lot more lines and there's a lot of overlap compared to what I'm used to. Um, but we're probably not getting past sketch phase the next 10 times I draw, you know? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you wanted more, but I just am not that guy. Why is she wearing a fucking bib? God, what's the lore there? What is this thing, dude? Can someone tell me what this thing is? Okay, so let's clean these up. Clean them up, up. Clean them up, up. We gotta do another fucking rose. Why does bitch like flowers so goddamn much? Motherfucker. Alright, I'm looking up this horse. Hold on. I'm looking up this fucking horse. Oh. I didn't even feel. I got another text. I didn't even feel it. It was in my pocket. Okay. So let's look up rice shower. Did this horse fucking wear a goddamn flower? But the horse. Rice shower, but the horse. Okay. Alright. Okay, so it's black. It's got blue socks on. That's fucking cute as hell, bro. She had blue. Why? You know what? I can't even see her feet. Oh. Oh my god, though. First off, no flower, you motherfucker. Second off, look at what they did to my girl, bro. Oh my god. That fucking cut? Shit. Oh fuck. I'm blocking the camera. Hold on. I should really make like a thing where I can just show it. Look at that fucking cut though, bro. Why did they do that to her? Actually, is it a her? Okay, good. I didn't accidentally just show horsecock. Um, the thoroughbred stallion. Wait a minute. Is this a dude? What? Poor fella. Damn, look at what they did to my boy then. Oh my god. All right. Well, in the show, hold on. Is she? I don't. I don't know how this works. Pretty derby. Okay. Um, horse racing, athletics. premise. Fictional universe similar to the real modern world, but featuring the titular Uma Musume, female Kemeno Mini. Fuck. Kemono Mimi with ears, tail. What is this? Animal ears. Okay. Moe anthropomorphism. Whatever. Racers and idols competing in organized races, blah blah blah. So they are all female in the show, but the real horse is a stallion. All right. Nobody snitch, by the way. Just a reminder. No snitching. If somehow what's her face comes across this and you were snitched to, like zero chance of that. Ban them. Ban the snitch. Please. And snitch on them, because I want to ban them too. I'm just kidding. I desperately need the viewership. Part of a dying industry. Come on. I would love to quit my job. You know, I've actually thought about this. I think I would have to make like more than twice what I make to quit. Probably like 3 times, because I would want at least twice what I want for a level of security. Because like there's no chance at like health insurance, you know what I mean? So that's stuff I would have to cover myself. And then I would probably need like an extra third, right? An extra 30%, if you will, or whatever, however you want to put it. Because I would probably need to hire people, and I would want to pay them, you know, pretty decently well. And I just don't see myself ever being popular enough to make that kind of money. I feel like I'm a bit of an acquired taste here. Okay. I don't like this. Save me, Alan the Alien. I think is it the series finale or the next episode of The Boys is out? Probably gonna watch that if I can soon. No spoilers, please. I don't. Is it the series finale? I keep seeing something about it airing in theaters. But I thought there was like gonna be 8 episodes total, and this is only the 6th. I should probably. You know what? I don't know. I don't know. Wait, why is this hair and that hair behind like her arm and like behind her back, but then this hair is in front of her dress? What? This just looks like somebody threw up. Someone has advice for that, please. Please. Fucking please. Please. You know, something I've thought about is something like this, where I'm drawing like a little extra detail. I feel like I should actually probably do this on a separate sketch layer. It's just that I feel like my layers get really out of control, because what happens is I'll start like a detail layer, and then like I'll do things in it, and then I'll kind of like start doing something else somewhere else, and then I'll kind of like I'll have like details in like 5 different layers. I'll have like a hair detail layer where some of the hair detail is there, and then I'll have like a shading layer where I end up doing hair detail, and like I'm just so inconsistent. Why does she have a bunch of cock and balls on her thing? What's the deal? She like dick? Good for her. Genius move to put the hand in front of this rose. I don't have to. It was an accident, by the way. I just didn't calculate correctly the size. Okay. Hmm. You know, it doesn't have to necessarily match perfectly, I guess. I feel like I need to make her face wider. Am I crazy? I just don't know how to do that without having to effectively redraw everything. Let's just do a quick little test. Is that better? It feels better to me. Am I wrong? What? Sorry, I thought I selected this. God, it's so hard to get in here. Wait. Hold on. This actually isn't that off. Because if you think about it, she's like, hold on. So if I'm facing that way. Okay, so she's like this, right? So her head is slightly turned. So this should seem slightly further back and slightly smaller. But this one's covered, so it just looks like it's smaller. I actually think this might be pretty close to right. Maybe bring it down a little more. I think I might have actually been closer than I thought. Maybe I just redraw it, huh? Because it's getting kind of messy here. Yeah, this kind of comes out all the way to the nose, actually. Hold on. I think I'll lower this one. I don't know how to put it. I feel like it works, but also I don't feel like it's working. I feel like this hair just doesn't make sense. I know her model's based off of this. I just can't prove it. I think this comes down too far. I don't know. I don't like this. These all look too thick and like individual. I don't know how to put it. These don't feel right to me. This one feels fine, the small one, but the rest of these just aren't feeling right, and I don't really know. But you know what? If that feels fine and those don't, maybe that one's also not right. I think I'm going to try and draw. Oh, it's so hard to tell. I'm going to try and draw this first. God, this is going to be so weird. It's way too big. Oh. I was wondering why my model was moving so much. It got fucking stuck tracking the goddamn ceiling. Sorry about that. I should have noticed sooner. That's actually not how it is on there. It's interesting. I think it's like closer to that, but it's covered in theirs. But I'm gonna just send it. Okay, so this is where we have to deal with this the knife in the sheath situation. All right, I might actually go for this because this is the closest knife I think I have to the one that she has on her old VTuber model. Um, this is the Cold Steel SRKC. This is a smaller version. Um, this is an SK5, which is a very rustable steel. Is that rust? It's basically an analog of a steel called 1070, which is a relatively soft steel, but it's like a higher carbon steel. So it's like it can hold an edge pretty well, but it's tough. So just a quick overview of what the fuck I'm talking about. None of that matters. I'm just gonna try and use this as a reference, I think, while maybe making a leather sheath. I don't know. Anyway, the point being, the whole steel thing. For steel, generally, the higher the carbon content, the harder it's able to potentially get if heat treated right, and depending on the rest of the the how do I put it, the composition. Um, so you would want something relatively high carbon if you want it to hold an edge for a long time. But the thing is, the harder it gets, the better the edge retention is going to be. But the more brittle something is going to be. And so a lot of times you get something like this that's not going to be stain resistant because, interestingly enough, one of the ways things get harder is something like having chromium in them, and chromium actually also does tend to make things stain resistant, um, while also, interestingly enough, adding some level of hardness, depending on how the carbon atoms uh, combine with them. So the formula matters, but generally speaking, higher carbon means better edge retention and higher hardness. So that's why you'll get something like Maximet that has like really high carbon is not particularly stainless because all of the carbon is like, I don't know how to put it, is towards the edge retention section. But then you have other ones like SK5 where it's got less carbon obviously, but most of its carbon isn't in combination with, say, no chromium to add some hardness, which, you know, like isn't the only thing. I think tungsten is also used for hardness, for example, depending on the the composition again. But the point being, it depends on the composition. This happens to have nothing that adds stain resistance, therefore the carbon is free to oxidize more easily, and the iron is also free to oxidize because there's nothing combining it to help protect it. Because the reality is it's stainless, not unrustable. Unless you're LC200N, that shit is fucking not steel. They're lying. There's no fucking way that that's actually steel. That shit is unrustable. I don't know how you could rust that steel. I genuinely don't. That shit is crazy. That's the only knife I've ever cut myself with, and it didn't leave a stain. Like, I want to be clear, it was an accident. Like, I wasn't trying to do it. But blood is, like, the most corrosive thing any human can get, like, at any given moment. Like, obviously, you could buy some sort of acid, probably, but, you know, not every human could. You know, some people probably don't have access to, like, you know, industrial grade sulfuric acid. That would probably, actually, I'm not even sure. but that would probably, most likely, be more corrosive. But blood is insanely corrosive. Like, just a drop of that. Actually, do I have a? I'm not getting up. I should. One drop. Hold on. Let me see if I have it. Oh, Jesus. Of course, it's in a drawer all the way across the room. Hey, track me. Okay. So this is, I guess it's two drops that sat, I think, for like 30 minutes after I cut myself. This is a Rex 45. So is it Rex 40? This is Rex 45. So this is one of those like high carbon, not very stain resistant steels. This thing holds an edge pretty crazily. That's like maybe 30 minutes it sat on there. Permanently deeply stained. I don't even think it was that long. This is a Kaiser knife. Oh, was this the Mystic? It's a Mystic. I got this because it was, I think, like $60, which is insane. You just, I realized you actually can't really find knives this good for that price anymore. On occasion, but still, it's even then it's like $80, which isn't like terrible or anything, but it's nuts. Anyway, I really wanted to try this steel. This knife is way too big, to be honest with you. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, what happened was I was choking up on this, and it like got me just like right there. So like I was like this, and it just slightly dug into my finger, and that was all she fucking wrote. But that's blood. That's just couple of minutes, maybe a half an hour of blood, and there's two dots on this. Isn't that crazy? Actually, I think I not so long ago. Oh, did I just cut myself? No way. I think I cut myself the exact same way I did last time. Okay. I think it, weirdly enough, this is literally like a couple of days ago. Basically, I cut myself pulling this out of its sheath. I don't think I got myself this time. But this also has a similar problem where the edge comes a little too close to where your finger rests. Um, this is 1095, so this is very rustable. No rust. Anyway, that just happened. Anyway, is there blood? There's no blood. Okay, that's good. What are the odds? Anyway, all of that was to say, I might try and draw this knife, or maybe get a screen grab of the knife from her thing just to see if I can put it in there, which is why we're not yet drawing the knife. Also, why the fuck does she have what's going on in this anime? Do I need to watch this? Is it worth? Some of these lines are really hard to follow in this screenshot. I don't know if I need to get my eyes well, I probably do need to get my eyes checked. But yeah, these are really hard to follow. Okay, so this comes out way too high. I need to shrink the fuck out of this. I need to shrink this somehow while not making it too small. So this comes in maybe around here. Okay, I see. I made this too low compared to that. So I'm going to have to make this up on our own, which isn't that big of a deal. I kind of like that even, because then that adds like a little bit of self-character. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just me grabbing some things. Hopefully that works. I feel like that sort of works. It's not too bad. Maybe that's an extra little line. I don't know, but I kind of feel like I want it there. Am I crazy, or is this hand I drew fucking goated? Why is that so much better than anything I've ever drawn before? I'm gonna just hide this behind the dress. I don't know. I feel like that makes more sense to me mentally. Maybe I'm wrong for that, but for me, we're just gonna do it. What if we hide part of this behind that? So it's not going to be exact, but I feel like that's just how I have to do things. All right, this body is looking kind of fucked up. I'm thinking we might have to shrink over here. What do we think? Like right here, shrink and like pull it in. So the benefit of drawing the sword or whatever that's already there is I have a reference right there. The downside is that I don't know why she has it, and I think it's stupid. The upside of drawing something like this, I have this right here. I can probably draw this without even seeing it. I actually really like this knife. I'm a sucker for clip points. It's too big to use for just about anything actually, but this thing is sick looking. So the upside is I can probably draw this pretty easily, even with the sheath. The downside is I would have to make up probably a leather sheath, I feel like, to make it work. Because I don't feel like this is it. Actually, wait a minute. We could draw the old American classic K-bar. Because I do have the leather sheath for that. I feel like maybe this is what I draw. Do we go for this instead? Wait, she's a lefty. Hey. I guess unless it's supposed to be a sword, then it is probably better for cross draw. I don't know. What do we pick? I'm thinking maybe this. Okay. A do 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 do. A do 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 do. Should we give her a dangler? Hold on. Let me show you what a dangler is. So, we just talked about cross draw. The reason you would be cross draw is first off, if the blade's too long to reach down. So, like, you reach down and you pull it up from your side, it's kind of weird, right? So you would potentially cross draw because that's easier than like putting your arm way up and like then pulling it way up. You can just pull it straight out and now it's already facing forward. The other way people do it is these danglers, right? So now instead of sitting right at your hip line and right, so let's say this is your hip here, so your hip's right here, and then you want to draw it up and you have to pull your hand straight up. Instead of sitting like right at your hip, it's actually further down your leg. So like your hip is up here now and the knife is down here like at your thigh. So now you just pull it out and it's, it's basically a lot less like straight upward motion for your shoulder to deal with. So people will do these little danglers. Now the problem with that is it kind of generally flops around, although it is good. Like if you crouch, you don't necessarily have this part like digging into your side anymore. So if you crouch instead, it like hangs down over your thigh, which is kind of nice. If you're wondering what this is, it's for holding a fire steel. I only have like one fire steel. I don't have a reason to own them. First off, I live in California. If I wanted to fuck around with one, there's a good chance I cause a wildfire, which would not be ideal for me because those things actually fucking work. Anyway, that's a dangler. This one would sit around your hip, which would not be ideal. It's a massive thing. This is actually set up for scout carry, but I also set it up so that scout carry sits behind your back. You could also set it up here if you wanted to. So like on your side, and you can pull it out this way instead of reaching behind your back and pulling it out. So like this is your ass, right? Your ass at your hips. You basically reach behind and you pull it out this way. Or you can do it upside down if you wanted, but or you can do it on your side. So this is the same place, like on your hip. You can pull it out like this, right? This is Kydex instead of leather, but you could do it with leather. This one you also happen to be able to just change. So I just swiveled it around. It would be technically left hand like this. So then I'd be able to cross draw. I guess, it really wouldn't matter which way I did it for the snap. Anyway, those are just some carry options. I feel like if you're going to be running a lot, I would probably go with something smaller and scout carry. Because if you have the dangler, it's going to be slapping your leg and potentially hit you in the nuts or in your clam here. You know what I'm saying? That won't be great. And if you don't have the dangler and you have one of these, it's going to be digging into your side and like your leg, and it's going to really ruin your movement. Now it does look like she's wearing it low, but I don't fucking know. I mean, I think the premise of this show is that it's a derby, so they're actually intending to run. So I personally probably wouldn't bother unless they have to fight mid-run. I probably wouldn't bother taking a knife with me. But, if you're in like a wilderness/survival situation where you have to run for your life with a knife, I would probably prefer scout carry personally. Because for one, if you bump into something on your sides, which is much more likely than bumping into something on your back, you might actually lose your knife. Could happen if you bend down, depending on how it's clipped up. But, if it's behind you on your back, it's also not going to ruin your range of motion quite as severely. It's kind of more like parallel with your hips. Unless it's a massive fucking knife, then it might. Anyway. Okay. Jesus. All right. I'm going to save this. We're going to save it as, actually. So, I want to apologize. We yapped. I kind of needed it, but we yapped and we did not really get very far. I'm going to stop here because I feel like I want to then next time do another sketch. I know it's a lot of sketches, but I actually hold on. You know what? Let's not stop here. Let's not. I'm going to forget to do this. This arm here. I'm going to totally forget this. Hold on. Before I do this, I know I'm going to forget if I don't do this now. But I do want to stop at the end of this sketch basically because what am I looking at? For me, I feel like if I don't, why does her arm kind of come out? Man, her orientation here is weird. But for me, I feel like this doesn't feel like a hell of an accomplishment. You know what I mean? Like, this feels wrong as hell. I only did a sketch. I do feel like it's a relatively detailed sketch. There we go. All things considered. And the revision is hopefully going to be even better. So what I'm going to do, should I try and do the knife after all? I was going to say you pick the knife. Do I just go original or do I like go with something I think the Sorrow Way would maybe use? Probably just do original, huh? Let's draw, I guess. I'm going to put this in for now. If you want me to, I mean, nobody really watches these, to be honest with you. But if you want me to change it to the original or to a different knife, maybe a different carry style even, please let me know. But I think it'd be cool to have it like a little more tactical just to kind of like make it unique. Um, I don't know. I feel like I'm both proud of this. I feel like this is actually a pretty solid sketch and like this has potential to go somewhere. I think the face maybe needs to be bigger and the hair maybe needs to be smaller. But overall, I actually think this came out pretty solid. We did spend almost 2 hours on it though, so I don't know if I should be proud of that, but I'm probably gonna continue this. I think what Friday because I think it's Wednesday. And I don't think I'll be able to get on tomorrow morning, but hopefully we'll be done by Monday. We'll see. I'm going to continue to try and take my time and actually do really well with this. I'm going to try and do some things, right? We're already doing some things differently. We're going to try to continue doing some things differently. And I'm going to try and be more detailed in certain spots, but I might be less detailed in certain spots just because I don't like the rose stuff. I don't really know what I'm doing, so I might like back those up a little bit and be a little easier on them. I don't know. But so far, I think from what I'm looking at, the hat needs to change. The face maybe needs to get a little like wider and the hair smaller. But I think overall it's not too bad. But if you have opinions on this or advice, please let me know. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I will hopefully catch you in the next one, whenever that is. But until then,